Welcome to Highway to SNL.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Chris.
My name's Andy.
And we are here yet again to talk about the cast members of SNL, Saturday Night Live, as two British SNL fans in a land far away from its origin.
Yes, Britain.
Britain, that is it, yes. And as you know, we have been going through talking about various different cast members, talking about their SNL career, talking about their career before and after. And this week we're talking about probably, arguably, one of the most famous ever SNL cast members, certainly one of the most prolific in terms of films post-SNL. We are talking about the great Adam Sandler.
The Sandman.
The Sandman, indeed. So yes, we'll be talking about our favourite sketches, songs, as he's a musician as well, and some of his many films.
Yeah.
So yeah, Adam Sandler was cast member on SNL between 1990 and 1995, one of the bad boys of SNL, kind of the third big evolution of SNL as it was.
Yeah, and almost like a comeback for SNL this period.
Yeah.
It was a return to sort of the golden year success, and I don't know if it's been topped or equaled since then.
No, I think it probably wrote the formula for what modern SNL is. It's certainly a transition period.
Yeah, and 30 years now, watching some of the sketches last night, most of it is still very funny, but a lot of it you wouldn't do now. Hence the term bad boys, I think. It's edgier.
Yeah, I think obviously the first cast pushed a certain amount of boundaries, but in terms of pushing boundaries in positive ways, I suppose you might say, in terms of addressing sexism and racism and things like that. And the 90s crew were pushing boundaries in very different ways.
Yeah.
In the world of taste and decency.
Yeah, which was kind of what the 90s was all about. If you look at successful movies from that period.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what, we both grew up watching the old stuff, but we didn't live through that, whereas this we lived through, And even though I wasn't watching it regularly when it was on TV because we didn't get it in the UK, bits of it were coming over, even like pre-internet, we'd see things, and it was through movies that I first got to see Sandler, but then there was other stuff I imported some VCDs and we would see clips on other TV shows and stuff. Yeah,
I think he was the, I guess, star of that period. He was very long time, he wasn't actually a member of the main cast. He was a featured player and a writer, and wrote music for it, but was not part of the main cast really until characters such as Dana Carvey had left, and it kind of made a space for him.
Yeah, and an earned space, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, an earned space, definitely. Yeah,
and and he, really broke through, and he did have that mainstream appeal as well, which some of the cast members from the same time, your likes of David Spade and Rob Schneider, less of a leader man figure.
Yeah.
And so you could see why he broke out relatively quickly. Mm-hmm. So should we start with our favourite sketches?
I think we should. Do
you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? So let me pull up my notes here. Obviously, professional as always. Do you know what? I'm going to get the controversial one out of the way, because this is probably I'd say probably the second most controversial sketch ever in SNL history. I'd say the most controversial would be the interview, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It got a lot of complaints at the time, and now it's still available on YouTube. You can watch it if you've never seen it, but it now comes with a disclaimer, which is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek disclaimer. But it is Canteen Boy, specifically Canteen Boy Goes Camping.
Ah, yes. The disclaimer, I've got a DVD, The Best of Adam Sandler, which I've had for years, from America. There is a disclaimer at the beginning of the sketch on that. I mean, did it go out when it...
No. So its original airing did not have the disclaimer.
It might be a different disclaimer.
I think, but every... in the repeats and the syndicated repeats, the DVD releases, everything like that, they put the disclaimer because there's so many complaints about it.
Why?
Oh, I wonder why. So, Canteen Boy, it's one of his kind of standout characters. I guess this was, I think, the third sketch he'd done of Canteen Boy. So, it's very much... and I will potentially criticise... I'm going to get in trouble for this podcast, by the way. I might potentially have things to say about his future portrayal of such characters. But I think this was the first real breakout of his, should we say, man-child character.
Yeah.
So we have Canteen Boy, who is made very clear in the disclaimer. He's a assistant scoutmaster. He's 27 years old and lives with his mum.
Yeah.
But he's a bit daft, as people at the north would say. He's an innocent. He carries a canteen of water around with him, and he talks in the very Adam Sandler-y man-child way.
Yeah.
But he gets picked on by other people because of the way he is, but he always gets his comeuppance in the end, usually by summoning an army of snakes to attack them.
It's just the getting picked on. Chris Farley's story. It's great.
So in this episode of Canteen Boy, they are camping, and it stars Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
In his, I think, second hosting before he became one of the all-time leading.
Is he still joint with? Because it was him and Steve Martin were the joint most hosts.
I don't know. He's top 4 appearances because obviously he did a lot of appearances during the Trump administration, but he wasn't hosting. Yeah,
because Steve Martin's popped up and appeared as well. So if you go by host, there's still probably.
I think they're close. You've got John Goodman as well, who I think since 1992 has hosted every single year. I think since.
Okay.
To put a blunt spin on it, basically the Scoutmaster played by Alec Baldwin hits on Canteen Boy.
A lot.
We have sniffing, we have caressing. At one point he sucks his finger.
Yeah.
And the entire time Canteen Boy is completely kind of very aware of what's going on, but being very polite.
Yeah.
About it. But it's again standard SNL fare. It just keeps rolling up and snowballs, and it gets more and more ridiculous, and they end up in the same sleeping bag. And Alec Baldwin's like, you know what I really hate? Underwear, and then pulls the underwear out.
Yeah.
It got controversy because people thought that Canteen Boy was supposed to be a boy because I guess it's called Boy, and obviously arguments about homophobia and things like that. But it will always be one of the most probably famous sketches ever, and I think it is funny, but in a very, very, very awkward way, and something that is very, as we spoke about, very much dated, I think, in the 90s.
Yeah, and it's so cartoony in a way that I couldn't take it seriously. It's not really my place to say, but I wouldn't see it as homophobic. But you couldn't do that sketch with a man and a girl.
No.
So I don't think the sexuality really comes into it. The joke is that it's a creepy guy, obsessing over another person.
Yeah.
I do think it's a mistake calling the character Canteen Boy. But it's that because he's the character. If there was a backstory, he's probably been the same since he was a boy. Yeah. So there we go.
And also a boy, it would be a reoccurring theme in Adam Sandler sketches, and certainly in the ones we're going to talk about. But anyway, so that is get his most controversial one out of the way. That's Canteen Boy.
Yeah.
Over to you.
I'm going to go for. Now it's kind of a sketch. I think it was from a Cold Open. Basically, when Courtney Cox hosted, and the Bruce Springsteen impression. If you are aware, a few years before Courtney Cox got proper famous with Friends.
Not Master of the Universe.
That was a long time after that, because that was 87 with her finest work, easily Master of the Universe. She's in the Dancing in the Dark video, where she plays a fan of Bruce Springsteen, pulls out the crowd and does a dance with him in that video. When she hosts, she pulls out Bruce Springsteen from the crowd, and they reenact that, and it's not Bruce Springsteen, it's Adam Sandler with a prosthetic nose. But what I like about this is the dance moves and stuff it's a good impression. It's exaggerated. He clearly is a Springsteen fan. I mean, I don't know if you know, but he is.
Yeah.
He's done with a lot of love, but it's also poking fun. And with that song, like many a song, we'll all sing along, not know the words properly, then sing the chorus properly.
Yeah.
And he does that in a way that so sounds like Springsteen that I think it's one of the classic impressions. It's not one of those necessarily an accurate impression, but you know what he's doing. He does it well, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And he's not overly known for his impressions, so I wanted to pick that one out. for that reason, and every time I see it, it makes me smile. So
Yeah,
that's Springsteen.
So it's another boy sketch. Again, this was a reoccurring sketch. I think with who I think it was the best person ever to work with Sandler on SNL, and that is the amazing Chris Farley, who obviously he's famous for his work outside of SNL with Spade, and certainly he was Spade's best friend. Yeah. But his chemistry with Adam Sandler is just absolutely incredible, because it is Adam Sandler's very much low key and very much quiet and you know, plays everything inward, and Farley is an explosion of energy. And so this is the Hurley Boy. I have several. I think the first one, which is my favourite, is House Sitting with the Hurley Boy.
Yeah,
it's named Hurley after the writer
Tim
Hurley, who went on to collaborate with Sandler on pretty much all of his films.
Well, his earlier one especially.
And wrote a lot of sketches with Sandra as well. And it's just stupid. It is just stupid. So you've got Sandler playing again. It's kind of a man-child kind of character, but he's not. He's like, it's just like he really just wants to house sit you. That's what he wants to do. He wants to house sit you, and he keeps asking really nicely, and then it escalates to he just wants to live. Can he not live with you? And he'll just sleep in the corner. He doesn't have much stuff. But then that then cuts between him doing this very earnest speech about how he, feeds your cats and stuff, and then cuts to just Farley being Farley.
Yeah.
And just like screaming at the camera, just let him just look after your cat, please. And then just cuts back to Sandler, who cannot keep a straight face.
Yeah, all done like a sort of cable TV ad.
Yeah.
And a great sketch.
It is.
And I think, I'll be honest, that's the only one of that character I can remember. I mean, it's been years.
There's a dog sitting one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just look at the DVD. I haven't got the receipt, but I think I've had the DVD for 20 odd years. So it's been a long time since I've actually watched a lot of these sketches. So that one is a standout for me.
Yeah.
Very much so. My turn, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Much like the Canteen Boy sketch, this probably got in trouble at the time. The Schmidt's Gay Beer advert, also with Farley, and it's basically a spoof of they don't do it so much now, but when they used to sell beer as being sexy, and basically it's a beer advert, but the selling point is it's for gay people, and they find like an abandoned house or something, and open the beer and it automatically turns into one of these very 90s pool parties, sort of summer break type thing. But why it works is just the visual comedy of both it's Farley again and Adam Sandler, just against character, acting like two almost like the later bro comedies, but they're openly gay. You wouldn't do it now, probably. Or at least you wouldn't use the wording, probably.
No.
It would be, you could do that, but you wouldn't call it Schmidt's Gay, you just call it Schmidt's or something. It's another one that it just makes me chuckle, and I don't see it as that negative, but you got to think we are of this generation. And the 90s, for all the humour that is now dated, I don't recall many people I knew, friend or not friend, actually being homophobic.
Yeah.
People would just joke about it more, almost in an uncomfortable way.
Yeah. And
there was that point of people calling each other gay as an insult. I always saw that as ironic, simply because you're not gay if you're not, and people were uncomfortable at the term more then. And watching a lot of this era comedy, I see it like that.
Yeah.
Very interested to know what younger people would take on it. But I still think this sketch works for what it is.
I guess it's kind of inverting the. I mean, it's always a difficult subject.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, it's just kind of inverting the stereotype of these. Yeah, drink beer and you'll be the stud and all the girls will love you, and it's just inverting on that by
exactly. Yeah. And very just spoofing the, like you say, the culture of the time. The hey, look at me. it's not that long after the risky business sunglasses Tom Cruise image.
Yeah.
So it's kind of reversing that. Next one.
Next one.
Who did he offend next?
Who did he offend? Well, this again, I don't know. In this one, Italians maybe. So this is another boy. This is Pepper Boy, which is, I think, probably my favourite Adam Sandler sketch of all time. It has Dana Carvey in. It's Dana Carvey's comeback, first time hosting after he'd left. I think about 2 years after he'd left. I think something like that.
Yeah.
And it ramps up so quickly and so ridiculous. You've got a guy whose job is to serve pepper in an Italian restaurant, and he's teaching his young protege, who's Sandler, how to give the right amount of pepper to people. But it begins as just, you're doing a pepper, and then you give them the pepper, and then it escalates to you're then hitting on the women and putting your at one point doesn't he lunge in somebody's face, and stuff like that, and then but the Pepper Boy can't get the simple act of just a little bit of pepper. So he will say, pepper, and they go, yes, and then he doesn't do the pepper. It's like, no, you forgot the one thing. And then Farley, the story is apparently Farley it was the only sketch he was in that week. He'd had to fly back to do one sketch because that's all they'd written for him. And then he was flying back to shoot. I'm guessing probably at the time it was probably Tommy Boy.
Could have been Coneheads.
Or been Coneheads, something at that time. And so he was pissed off. So he thought, right, I'm just going to be Farley, and he got his strop. And so delivers the most over-the-top line ever. And then I'll be like, this man likes free squirts of the pepper. And so he goes, pepper? He's like, yeah. And he does the free squirts. And then Farley, and I'll try and give him justice, he goes, thank you, Pepper Boy! That's the right amount of pepper! Yeah. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Sandler just pisses himself. You've got Dana Carvey, who is kind of, I suppose, the father figure, I guess, to that period, coming back. And you can actually hear him whisper him, don't break, to Sandler. And it's I don't know, it gets me every time. I just laugh out loud at it, and it's stupid. And then the final payoff is that they ended up opening a restaurant that only serves pepper.
Yes. It is a classic. And just talking about Dana Carvey, obviously that's someone we want to do a podcast on. How can we get it down to 3 sketches each for him?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We could just do a 6-hour-long show on Dana Carvey. Okay, I'm going to do my final sketch. There are a few other things I'd like to mention from his SNL as well, because I did find it difficult with Sandler narrowing it down. But I'm going to go for the Denise Show. This is another sort of spoof cable TV show, much like was it not cable? Like Wayne's World.
Public access.
Public access. That's it. A guy called Brian who's got his own show dedicated to his ex-girlfriend. He does things like rings her up and just hangs up. He rings up the person she's dating and mutters, "You're going to die." Just loads of stuff like that. But it really works because it's just this... Normally he plays likeable man children, like you say. This character is more closer, actually, to, say, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
The angrier side, which I think he does really well as well. But it's also like kind of relatable. We've all either been that bitter ex or known someone like that. And I just think the sketch really works in just a childish, juvenile way. But it's added to by things like his dad rings him up, which is Phil Hartman. And Phil Hartman just does Phil Hartman over the phone, and it's hilarious. The girlfriend's played by Shannon Doherty as well, which is good to see her, because she was on SNL a few times, I think.
She was. Everyone hates her. Everyone hates her, though.
Well, did they?
Do you not know? I'm not getting into that, but it was a whole thing.
Oh, sorry, at the time,
everyone hated her.
Yeah, but yeah, she came back a few times, but wasn't hated in the way that Steven Seagal was.
Oh no.
But yeah, just the timing's great. There's so many. It's a one joke sketch, but they come at it from so many different angles that I really like it, and it does. To me, it stands out from a lot of his stuff on the show at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my third choice, and I'm sticking with it. It's a banger.
So yeah, some other kind of notable mentions if we've got any.
I want to obviously mention Opera Man.
Opera Man is literally what I was thinking of.
Love it. On the best of DVD. Opera Man appears quite often. They just show little bits. It's just so daft, but amazing, and he's really likable.
Yeah.
And
the one with about Sarah Ferguson being caught topless on the beach is brilliant. Sarah Ferguson married to a nonce, just making that quite clear right now.
Yep. And the Pearl Jam one as well, when he does sings Pearl Jam in the style of opera, while admitting being attracted to Eddie Vedder. It's one of the funniest things ever. So I wanted to mention that. I was going to mention Canteen Boy, but you did that as a sketch. Uraki Pete. We'll skim over that one.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff he done with Kevin Nealon on Update and with Norm Macdonald on Update. But have you seen the different Halloween costumes on the budget?
Brilliant.
Yeah. Newspaper for a face man.
Yeah.
Protractor beard man. Love that. When a lot of things with Sandler relates to me growing up because we grew up watching this, and I always thought, and maybe I missed it last night because I was making notes, whatever, that one of his costumes was just literally smiley face man, where he'd smile, and I didn't notice that last night, so maybe that's a different sketch. But we used to prank call people as kids, and just show people we knew, obviously, not randoms. That it's smiley face man. Look at my smiley face. And we'd, like 3 a.m, my mate of mine would ring me and do that. But look at it, I don't even know if that ever happened in the sketch.
No, there was a brilliant one which I cannot remember now. I do remember. Got a stick on my hand, man! Oh, look at me! I got a stick on my hand.
Under the desk guy. But with that as well, he's watching Kevin Nealon crack up at it. The stuff he done on Update was great. A lot of the songs came out of that for Update, which I suppose should lead us on to. I do have one honourable mention as well, which was him as hosting, which is kind of like a greatest hits, which will come into some of the films, which is the Sandler family reunion. Just to see the cast of whenever that was come, and some guest appearances as well from previous casts who I don't know all working around at that time, just doing bad Adam Sandler impressions. Yeah, was that before or after the Jim Carrey one? I think just after.
I think it was just after the Jim Carrey one. Yeah.
That's a sketch. I've only ever seen that one once actually on YouTube. But that's cool. That was Jimmy Fallon was involved.
Jimmy Fallon, of course, he was involved. Jimmy Fallon's come up again. And you've got what's his name, the weird-looking guy who did like 2 seasons and left, and best. I can never remember what his name is.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Went out with loads of famous women.
Oh, Tommy Lee.
No.
I don't know.
No, I've forgotten his name. It's just people doing really rubbish impressions of Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler kind of phoning it in a little bit as well. But
I think that's kind of the joke. Just he's doing the lame impression, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a. I've forgotten about that actually, because I always think of the Jim Carrey one. If I'm honest. So songs. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So. I'm going to lead in, and this was a song that started as a sketch and is now part of his. I think he actually released it. Oh no, it was definitely on his first comedy album, or his second comedy album, Lunch Ladyland.
First albm,
Lunch Ladyland. So the sketch is brilliant. Well, it's not a sketch really. It's just again Farley being Farley, and then the rest of the cast turn up dressed as various foods, and then they have a fight.
Yeah.
Sandler again can't keep a straight face.
Sloppy Joes. Sloppy Joes. It's a catchy song as well.
I like it. I like humour mixed with music. I do. It's almost as if what I do. Yeah. And I quite like how the best thing about comedy songs is you can take something which is just an observation, and the entire song is just an observation about lunch ladies and school dinners.
Yeah.
And if you were to tell a joke, if you were a stand-up or tell a joke about that, it would, come across as something like Peter Kay, or for our American fans, like Seinfeld. It's like, what's the deal with Sloppy Joes? Yeah. It just becomes that if you're just talking about it, and it's just very observational of the worst kind of humour. But you put it to music, and it elevates it, and it takes it away from that, and it just gives it something extra. Yeah. Because it's not, if you were to read the lyrics, it's funny, but it's not that funny. But I think it's the performance of it, and the fact he's put it to music.
The delivery, like I say, with the Sloppy Joes, and just really going for it, really helps. So that I'm a big fan of his songs, I've got to be honest. So it's quite difficult. Even now, I haven't rounded it down to my top 3. Yeah. I'm still working on it.
I would argue that I think he's funniest when he's got a guitar.
Yeah, I mean that's
my personal opinion.
That's what broke him through.
Yeah.
On SNL, that's what made him stand out. His songs, it's what got him his foot in the door, so to speak. So you mentioned that first album. You're all going to laugh at me. I believe the first album.
They're all going to laugh at you.
And I didn't really. I forgot when that album came out that's a reference to Carrie.
Yeah.
So you got to think when that came out, I was quite young. I'd seen Mixed Nuts, Airheads, Billy Madison, probably Happy Gilmore. And I bought this album. He's very 12 certificate PG rated.
Yeah.
And then I heard the song At a Medium Pace. If you know this song. I was blasting the album out, thinking it'd be a bit sweary. My parents were about. I was a teenager. It's basically a ballad, but it's filthy. And when I say filthy, it's absolutely disgusting, but all played straight like a ballad. And it's not on Spotify or anything. I don't think it wasn't. Track it down because I think it's absolutely hilarious. But be careful who you play it in front of. And I do think that now Sandler's gone a lot more mainstream. There's a reason that a lot of his comedy albums are harder to get hold of. It's very, very, very offensive, but also brilliant. I imagine Norm Macdonald was having a chuckle when he listened to that. So At Medium Pace from the first album is my first choice.
Yeah, well, again, we'll do a Norm episode at some point, and then interesting when we get into his comedy albums.
Yeah. Be easier to do his films.
Yeah, that won't take long. So, yes, my second choice, we have gone from his first album to his last album, I believe, and that is Phone Wallet Keys.
Yes.
So his foray into... There's a couple of rap songs, actually, on that, isn't there? But his foray into rap.
Yeah.
And again, it's a simple premise. It's just a simple premise, but it's him rapping about how all he needs to leave his house is his phone wallet keys. His phone wallet keys. That's all he needs. He just needs his phone, wallet, and keys. And then it goes from there. So phone, wallet, and keys, and then he wants to go on a plane. He needs his passport. So now it's his phone, wallet, passport, keys. Phone, wallet, passport, keys. And then he forgets his laptop. So he needs his laptop, phone, passport, keys. It's one of those like songs you would like sing on a coach trip.
Yeah.
Where you add an extra thing in every chorus.
Yeah.
Except it's a rap, and he swears a lot in it.
Yeah. Which is what he does.
Yeah. And gets more and more angry about all of the stuff he has to carry around with him. And at one point, he just lists as quickly as he can. He needs his zipper, his charge pack, his sunglasses, his hairspray, headphones, with his beats from Dr. Dre, his notebook, his GoPro, his vape pen, his crossbow, his toothpick, his pocket knife. Oh fuck! I forgot my wife.
Yeah. But was it this one? It wasn't actually properly recorded, was it? It was a live version.
The live version's on the album.
It was released as a single as well, I think.
Yeah.
Because when you say his last album, which it was, I think that's his only live album. Before that, it was sketch albums, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And because that's what threw me, because the one I'm going to say next was from what I think was his last album. But then you're like, right, yeah, he did release a live album.
Yeah.
He might have even done 2 live albums now, thinking about it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can only think of that one because it's after he did his tour, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's one of possibly his most recognisable song in the last 20 odd years.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a song now from the Don't Tell album from 2004, and this is a spoof of like Eminem and hip hop. The Mayor of Pussytown. Do you remember this one?
Yeah.
It's basically you've got the early 2000s. Rap music, a lot of white rap music, and it's all egos saying how tough they are. This is the big spin on it by basically it sounds just like one of these songs. If you didn't listen to the lyrics, you'd not know because it's such a good spoof, I think. But it's basically about what a wimpy is, hence Mayor of Pussytown, and it's hilarious. First time I heard it, I was literally bawling it with laughter. I thought I still do. I think it's such a good parody. That go out and recommend it. The album is not on Spotify, but that is on YouTube. You can listen to it on there. And I've got memories of pulling up to the Download Festival in my mate's car, and we'd blast this song out, acting all tough and singing along to the wimpy lyrics. Nice. So thank you for that one, Sandman.
And my final song, again, 2018, so I can't think what album that would have been on.
What's My Name?
It's What's My Name, yeah. It is funny, but it's also just beautiful. It's Farley.
Oh, sorry. 18. Sorry, I'm
thinking.
18. No, it would be the same album as it's on.
It is on the same album.
Yeah, same album. Yeah.
So
I was thinking 98. Oh,
yeah.
God, mate.
No. Farley. So his tribute to his friend Chris Farley.
Yeah.
It's it's beautiful at times. Certainly the last half, I guess, is just kind of a really sweet tribute. But the first half is very, very funny and talking about how much of I guess, a character that we all kind of know that's who Farley is now, because a lot of people have spoken about it. But I don't think probably 20 years ago or shortly after he died, there weren't so many stories going around about how chaotic Chris Farley was. One of the lines is he would drink a bottle of whiskey and then shove it up his arse.
Yeah. Like the shampoo bottle in medium pace.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
And yeah, it's I guess it's not really funny, but I think it is one of his best songs because it shows, and then I'll come to talk about it when I talk about one of his films. I think it shows that he has these characters and this side of him, which is not my favourite side of him, which is the man-child silly noise thing. It's not my favourite part of him, but
you wait till my top 3 movies.
Yeah, I know. This is where it's going to cause controversy. But I will not deny that the guy's a genius. Mm. It's just, I guess, part of his character is that side of him, which is the part that most people like. Yeah. And I will say that's the Sandler that most people like, just not my Sandler. But
he is the Sandler that most people like, or liked, because nowadays, even though he's still like Happy Gilmore 2, probably the most successful Netflix film in a few years from anybody, and people, he's always got bad reviews. People have always said they're not fans, but yet people go and see his films and watch them on Netflix. So I think he's a little, I hate the term, but guilty pleasure for people. I think it's that they don't want to like it, but they do. Yeah. Go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, that was basically it. It shows his I guess softer side, where it's, there's funny parts in it, but it's just a really, really good song and a really sweet tribute to somebody who he was very close to, and sadly, and there is even a line in it which is, we'll tell him, slow down, you'll end up like Belushi or Candy. He said, those guys are my heroes. That's all fine and dandy.
Yeah,
and that's the line that always hits me, because unfortunately that's how he felt, and that's kind of what led to...
First time I heard that song, and it's never happened to me for some before, it did bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Never happened before.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't know him, but I grew up watching him, and I still remember vividly, hearing that Farley died when I was 16, 17, something like that, and wasn't very famous over here, but we knew who he was, and that hit me. He also done a song on, I think it's What's Your Name? Is it called Stan the Man? A song about his dad.
Yeah.
And Sandler's got a lot of heart, and that's why I think that one of the main reasons that he crossed over to the mainstream so well. It happened really with The Wedding Singer, but we'll talk about that later. The movie trends. I've got to pick one more song.
You have got to pick one more song.
I will say before that the whole album, What the Hell Happened to Me, his second album, I don't think there's a bad sketch or song on that album. And if you're going to listen to any of his albums, go for that one. I'm struggling to narrow it down to a song, but I think I'm going to go for The Lonesome Kicker. It was a single. It was on what album was it? I can picture the cover where he's got a clown face. What's Your Name? Yeah, What's Your Name?
Yeah.
And it came out around the same time as The Waterboy, and I think they might have done the video around the same time. And it's just a really nice, poignant song, but funny, about a kicker for American football team who's lonely. But it's poignant, but also very funny, which I think he can do quite well. Yeah. Sometimes he misjudges things, 8 Crazy Nights, but with this, it's a really nice song, but it also does make you chuckle, and it was clearly written to be a single.
Yeah.
So check that one out. There's a music video and everything for that. Yeah.
Right, should we move on to movies?
I guess we did say that we won't pick Happy Gilmore.
We're not going to pick Happy Gilmore. We'll talk about Happy Gilmore afterwards, I guess, because I think we both agree that's kind of our what we would say is our standout
It's the one everybody likes,
Sandler.
isn't it? You know, so we'll talk about that, Andy, because the sequel's just come out as well. So we'll talk about those. So yeah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so we mentioned it. So why not talk about The Wedding Singer, which is his first huge commercial success,
especially worldwide.
Yeah.
This was the first one that I could easily see at a cinema in this country.
I think it's well written. It's Sandler. He's Angry Sandler, who I love. Angry Sandler. It's also really poignant. I think it was written by Tim Herlihy again, but Carrie Fisher did extensive rewrites as a script doctor on it.
Okay.
And she was brought in by Tim Herlihy because he wanted, and she agreed that up to that point, Sandler films were very male-centric.
Yeah.
They were, for their good points, they were very much about a guy and his mates and a very a male view of women, and it was filmed through a man's eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas she did a brilliant job because The Wedding Singer is not. The Wedding Singer is very much, you see it through a fully fledged female character's eyes, as well as him.
It's his first rom-com, isn't it? Really, you know.
And I'm not a rom-com fan. I think when they're done well, they're done well. But I'm not. It's up there in my genres that I'm not a fan of. Too long historical dramas being up there as well.
Meg Ryan's looking at you in disgust. Disgust.
But it's possibly my favourite rom-com. Actually, I think it's got that what has now become a trope of guy gets jilted in the first half or first quarter, meets somebody, then she's already with somebody who's a douche, and then he realises she's a douche and she doesn't realise that he's a douche, and then he fucks up and then he thinks he's lost her, and at the end it comes together. There's so many films based around that. I mean, Wedding Crash is exactly the same. You've got Forgetting Sarah Marshall, exactly the same. It's become a trope, but this is the first film that I can think of that really had that plot.
There's a lot of firsts. I mean, it was made in '98, but it was the first film I can think of to be set in the '80s.
Yeah,
and spoof the '80s as well.
Yeah. I think the entire cast is brilliant. It's got some amazing cameos.
Love it!
Jan Hurst.
You got Buscemi as the best man brother.
You've got the rapping grandma.
Yeah. And that's very Sandler. I mean, he did co-write this as well, didn't he?
No, he did script edits, but not credited.
Okay, yeah, he produced.
He produced it.
Yeah. Because this was possibly just before Happy Madison was a thing.
So this came out. No, this was supposed to come out the year before the Waterboy.
Yeah, was Waterboy the first?
But they came out the same year.
Okay.
Happy Madison would have been before, wouldn't it?
Well, because I thought he made the money from The Wedding Singer and then put together Happy Madison.
Happy Madison. You may be right. Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's around that time.
Yeah.
Because he had the three massive hits of The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, and Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of around that time that it all done really well. So, but yeah, for me, this was the one. I remember I went to see it at what's now Cineworld in Ipswich, which was, I think, UGC, and got to see it on the big screen. Whereas when Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison both came out, I wanted to see them at the cinema, but I couldn't because in Ipswich where I live, they weren't shown.
Yeah.
So, but just to see how massive this was. It was New Line Cinema. The Wedding Singer. It cost 18 million and it made 123.3 million. Now that's a hit. That is a hit, ladies and gentlemen.
Hit.
And it's good, and it's that one of those films from that era that I put on with my parents and they'd laugh as well.
Yeah.
Whereas with Madison and even to a certain extent Gilmore, they'd chuckle, but they wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was a bit too silly for them.
Yeah.
But I think it is a film as silly, but the rom-com elements don't hide it, but they draw you away from that. And of course, you got Drew Barrymore, big star.
Yeah.
And just a great cast in general. All his mates are there.
All his mates are. Gotta say, Alexis Arquette.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sadly no longer with us, Alexis Arquette.
Yeah.
Amazing in it.
Yeah. And Christine Taylor, Ben Stiller's wife.
Yeah.
Who we all know is the horrible person from The Craft. and the older daughter from the Brady Bunch movies. See, I know me 90s facts. She's got a podcast now.
Yeah.
Called The 90s Called, and she gets a different guest from the 90s.
Oh.
I've listened to the Pauly Shore episode. It was all right. And the Steve Guttenberg episode was brilliant.
Oh, I wonder why you listened to that one.
Guttenberg rules, man. He hosted SNL.
He did.
Yeah,
I just think it's a brilliant, well-crafted film. Everyone does an amazing performance.
Yeah.
It has an amazing original song by Sandler in it.
Yeah.
Grow Old With You, which is just a beautiful love song.
Yeah. And Somebody Kill Me as well.
And also Somebody Kill Me. Yeah, which the first time I watched it, that was a shock when that comes out of nowhere, which I guess is the point.
That's the reason the film's a 12 certificate.
Yeah. There's not much swearing in the rest of the film.
And that's why that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you do, I always say for swearing to be funny, my favourite example, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Steve Martin, there's no swearing all the way through the film, then he goes mad and there's loads of F-bombs in one scene. Wensinger's a great one, great choice. Shall I do my first one?
Do your first one.
Okay, now this movie came out a few years before. He was still on SNL at the time, 1995, Billy Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I love this film, and I will say that I think a lot of my love for it is nostalgia. I think if I'd watched it for the first time now, I probably wouldn't find it as funny as I do. But it's got that surreal moment. The plot is absolutely ridiculous of a 30-year-old guy going back to school because his dad's rich and bribed to pass. So he has to get the estate, he has to pass every grade. So he goes right back to kindergarten or primary school or whatever it's called over here. He falls in love with one of the teachers, which just wouldn't happen. But it's a daft comedy. 10 million budget and made 26.4 million. So not a big hit. Still a hit, but not a big hit. If you double your money, it's considered a success. So, yeah, but this is early days for him. But as well, he's surrounded himself with a great cast. Veronica Vaughn, the teacher love interest, is Bridget Wilson, who a lot of people know from Mortal Kombat a few years later. She was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think. She was the first one. Big name at the time. He co-wrote it with Haley again. And you've got Norm Macdonald in the cast as well. And it's his first... Not the first time he's acted with him because he was in Airheads, but the first time Steve Buscemi's come in as a cameo. You've got there is a song in it. It bursts into song randomly, and it goes full musical, which I love. He has visions of penguins, and one standout performance is Bradley Whitford as the kind of villain. The evil guy who wants to take over the company. A lot of people would know him from basically if he doesn't pass the exams, he'll get the company. A lot of people know him from TV nowadays, but he was
who did that the Sunset Strip thing, didn't he? Number 6 on Sunset Strip. Or
I know he's in something that I don't watch, but I knew him from before this movie. He was in Revenge of the Nerds 2, playing the same sort of character. He's in Adventures in Babysitting, playing the same sort of character. He was also in Young Guns 2, which is a great film. Awakenings, which is a generally great film. With Robin Williams and De Niro. Sentinel of a Woman. And he wasn't always in great films because he was also in Robocop 3. But he is my favourite douchebag actor. I think he does that role really well. He's a great actor all round. But I think he brings a lot to the movie because Sandler's still not really a big name. I mean, it's good that he got this. This movie is his equivalent to Dana Carvey's Opportunity Knocks when he was still in the cast, and but this one done a lot better than that. I think it is a better film, but I love Opportunity Knocks. But I think it's a really fun 90-minute silly comedy. It's made for shouldn't really go there, but it is made for blokes to drink with their mates while drinking beer. It is that film. And that was me when I was sort of 16, 17. Shouldn't have been drinking a beer, but watching this movie. I remember it had been out a few years before you could even buy it on video, and I saw it in the shop and was so excited that it got released. It was that sort of. It was like hard to get hold of. And now it's out uncut on Blu-ray with the scene where he says the F word in front of all the kids, which was never in the video around here. You get out there and you find that dog. I think it's great.
And just if anyone's listening in Hollywood, a plea, just stop making comedy films over 90 minutes. please.
Stop making films over 90
Stop making comedy films over 90 minutes. I guess Sandler's probably the only one who's still churning out 90-minute comedies. Unfortunately,
the last few haven't been. They're hitting 2 hours now.
Yeah, it's no.
So, Happy Gilmore 2, if you take out all the flashbacks, it's probably 80 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah. So on the subject of 90-minute films, this film is 90 minutes, and it was made as a challenge by the director who set himself. It's a Sandler film. It's got Sandler in it. It's my favourite film with Adam Sandler in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going overboard.
No. It's Punch Drunk Love,
Okay.
which I remember first seeing in the little art house cinema we had at my university. I was a big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson.
Not Paul W.S. Anderson.
Not Paul W.S. Anderson. No. No. We can tell it's not Paul W.S. Anderson because it doesn't have Mila Jovovich in.
Yeah.
And it was, at the time, he said in an interview just after, what was the film that came out before Magnolia came out, somebody said, "Oh, what's your next film going to be?" And he's like, "I'd like to write a 90-minute comedy with somebody like Adam Sandler in."
Yes.
And then he did. And he wrote a 90-minute comedy with Adam Sandler in. It's dark, as comedies go. I think he described it as an art house Adam Sandler film.
Yep.
Which it is. I think it's Sandler at his best by a long way. I think it's all of the things that we love about Sandler in his own films and in his sketches, but he tones it down to being a realistic level, and it really works, and it shows how good an actor he really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a great actor if it's the right role, and this is definitely that.
Yeah, because you've got he's very much an innocent, he's very much introvert, his character, but then he has these fits of rage where he like destroys doors and puts his hand for a wall and stuff like that. But he does it in a non-Adam Sandler way, but it's still innately Sandler, and it's brilliant. I think
he's actually in a way quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah, he is.
This film I've not seen for a long time. I saw it in cinema twice. The DVD somewhere. There is a Criterion Blu-ray release, which I really want to get.
One of only 2 films that have got Criterion releases of Adam Sandler's.
And Uncut Gems.
And Uncut Gems, yeah.
Why there's not a Criterion Billy Madison? There's Criterion Godzilla, so why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really like it. I like Paul Thomas Anderson, but I've not seen that much of his stuff. I like Licorice Pizza, that came out a few years ago. I thought it was really good. And he's got another one on the way. And I think this was needed in Sandler's career because it was done when he was at his peak commercially, but he was getting a lot of stick. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't like the silly comedies, and they like to have a go at it. And there's a bit of jealousy from other sort of fans of films that he's making lots of money. And what year was this?
2002, I want to say.
Okay, so he had his first sort of big flop before this. So that might be why, another reason why they've done it. It's a totally different film, but career-wise, I always connect it with like Jim Carrey doing The Cable Guy, and this worked. I like The Cable Guy, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a success. Yeah. And this, it was low budget. I haven't looked up there, but I bet you it made money. It's certainly critically acclaimed, which for something like this helps. And over the years, it really has gone on to become a classic. So yeah, it's not in my top 3 because I've gone the full comedy route. I really like as well, he done a film a few years later called Reign Over Me. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Where
he's a survivor of September 11th. And he's very withdrawn in that, but also you've got the anger. But that's not like an indie film. That is quite a commercial one. But I think that is also a really underrated movie. Whereas Punch Drunk Love does get the love.
Yeah. I mean, Punch Drunk Love cost $25 million, box office 24.7.
Yeah, but over time.
And again, Paul Thomas Anderson not out to make money.
I don't know if many of his movies would have made a lot of money.
But he wasn't out to make money. He won Best Director for it at Cannes.
Yeah.
You know, he's not in it for that. I mean, he obviously owns his own production company as well. It was released on New Line, who have always been a company that have never looked to make money from their films. They just want to release films. They'll take a gamble on.
Yeah, I mean, it was them who got Nightmare on Elm Street made, you know, and
Lord of the Rings, which everyone thought would be a flop.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, good film. But it did do. Anything else you want to say on that? Because I can lead on now to my next choice.
No, it's one of those films where you have to watch the background all the time because it's got a really good supporting cast. Yeah. And it's one of those things that maybe what's happening in the foreground isn't funny, but you've got a little bit of slapstick business going on in the background, like Luis Guzman's character is always falling over or stuff
yeah.
like that in the background. You might miss it, but it kind of breaks up the fact that you've got quite a depressing tale, which ends well, but it's quite a depressing tale about loneliness and
it's a dark
obsession.
Film. So 2 years before, that film nearly made the same as its budget. This film didn't. It was after he had some massive hits. 58 million this film made, but it cost 80 to 85 million, which I think is a lot of money for an Adam Sandler film, but I don't care. I still love it. This is Little Nicky.
Yay!
Let's throw money at Sandler, get all his mates involved. Heavy metal soundtrack, slapstick heaven. I think it was the last film that Rodney Dangerfield was in. You've got Rhys Ifans actually being good, which is rare. Harvey Keitel having fun, and it's just a tale of the son of the devil, who is an innocent man-child. When did you last watch this? Because you're acting like you don't like it.
It's been a long time since I've watched it because I do not like it.
I saw this in the cinema twice. You've got,
of course you did.
It's decided as a dark fantasy comedy. There was action figures for this movie, which I've got somewhere. They got banned because they were a bit sweary. The action figures actually got banned. I think it's the mistake is they're throwing too much money at it. But this is what I like about Sandler is it's just silly jokes, only 90 minutes, great cast. I think it's funny. You got a talking dog. The little jokes like they do something with your powers and he turns the Coke to Pepsi makes me laugh every time. Henry Winkler getting covered in bees. It's just, this is the film. It's almost like he made it to annoy all the people all these critics. And I'm like, I thank him for that. And I know one of the films you're going to pick, I think it's the same but scaled back. Gets all his mates involved. They have fun. I just love that. It's just ridiculous, and they spent 85 million on it.
I didn't know it's cost that much. Jeez.
But when you think that film cost 85 million, but 8 years before that, Jim Carrey got paid 20 million for doing The Cable Guy. You know,
so which is also a miss in my eyes.
That's one that I'd recommend rewatching. But it was certainly promoted wrong, which is the thing. And I think Little Nicky appeals to the Wayne's World, Bill and Ted type metal comedy, that sort of crossover. I just think it's a really fun film, and I've probably watched it last about 2 or 3 years ago. It was late night beer. It was lockdown. I had a few beers and watched it, and I still thought it was funny. So I think it's not. It's a flawed film for the reasons of he'd just come off 3 big hits really, and then he just done something completely niche aimed at his hardcore fans. But also, I think that's quite brave, so I admire it.
Okay.
So thank you again, Sandman.
Cheers for that one.
So I didn't argue with you, even though you were very wrong.
No. I'm just keeping quiet because I don't want people to lynch me.
I don't think I'm the one who's going to be getting lynched for this.
No, lynch me. I'm the one who's going to get lynched for talking about how much I don't like that Sandler. But I won't talk about when I tried to watch The Waterboy in preparation for this.
I've got some more films to pick.
And I got half an hour in, and I had to turn it off. I'm sorry, Henry Winkler, you were brilliant, but Sandler, no, was not my cup of tea.
Right, well, let's have your next pick before I talk about The Waterboy.
Yeah. So yes, my next pick is I guess controversial probably for Andy to think that I would pick this. But it's Grown Ups.
Grown Ups 2?
No, not Grown Ups 2. Grown Ups. He gets a lot of stick now for a lot of his career. He would just make films with his mates.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Someone's got to give Schneider a role. Schneider. But I watched this again recently, and I know I enjoyed it. I've probably not seen it probably since it came out, and I know I enjoyed it a bit then, but I thought I'd watch it again. And I enjoyed all of it. I really enjoyed it. There's something about, I know it's him casting his mates, but it's something about a group of people who are such good friends having fun making a film. And it just feels genuine. You can tell that they're actual friends. They're all playing characters who are a bit, I suppose,
A bit like themselves.
a bit like them, exaggerated version of themselves, but they are. They actually are. Apart from, Schneider's a hippie, not a right-wing nutcase.
Can I just... Is it... I haven't seen them for a while. And I like the film. I've got them on DVD.
Yeah.
Now, the second one, is Schneider not in it because he'd fallen out with Sandler at that point?
I don't know. It may well be, because they did fall out, didn't they?
Yeah. So I think that's what happened, but I'll have to check it.
But yeah, it might be controversial to many, especially being, I'm slagging off certain parts of Sandler's film career, and then he picks Grown Ups. Yeah. What are you talking about? It's just enjoyable, and there's a lot of laughs, and of course it has the obligatory "I'm Adam Sandler, look at me, I'm really good at basketball."
He is.
But he is. Why not put it in? And yeah, it's just them having fun. I think the plot it's good. It's not, you're not watching it for the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you've said apart from the plot is good, but I also think that the plot doesn't matter. So yeah. I'm not arguing you.
But the plot is the same as any other.
It's the
film
great outdoors.
Yeah, it's the great outdoors. They don't have a bear being shot with a.
Yeah, that's a bagger.
A light.
No, I mean, I like it. We could talk about Adam Sandler films I don't think are great in a bit, but don't want to be too negative. There are a few I think are misses, and Grown Ups certainly isn't one of them. The second one's all right as well, to be honest. I don't dislike it. Every time I watch it, though, I don't dislike Kevin James. That'd have been Farley, wouldn't it?
It would have been Farley, and that's
Farley.
They know it would have been Farley, and I guess Kevin James came along later, and obviously is friends with that group as well, but he's not from the same background. He's not.
No, but his sitcom was produced by Happy Madison, I believe.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so
and he guest starred in it in a few episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice family film. I think it's PG or 12.
Yeah.
It's getting the band back together, isn't it? It's getting all the mates. And one thing I will say before all our moan about Rob Schneider, he's gone. To be honest, he's got a bit mad, I think. And I don't like a lot of the stuff he's been saying. But I admire Sandler for, he's not sticking up for what he's saying, but he's still being his friend. And when you look at like his appearance in Happy Gilmore 2, if he hadn't have mouthed off so much, he'd have had a bigger role in that movie. Sandler, it's like his loyalty is like it's second to none, really. Even though they fell out, but they made up. And I keep seeing articles come up about him, Rob Schneider, claiming that every week for the last 30 years, Sandler's rung him up to check in on him. I don't think that's true because you didn't speak for a while, mate. Stop lying. But yeah, I think Sandler's one of the nicest millionaires ever.
I mean, he very intentionally keeps his. I mean, there are things thrown around about what his political beliefs might be. It probably is very likely that he has more Republican leanings than Democrat, but he's very intentional that Sandler does not talk about his politics or his beliefs. He talks about his religion quite a lot, but I think it's good because he's actually making he's one of the most famous Jewish people in cinema. So yes, he should use that as a focal point about it. But he keeps his political beliefs and his other beliefs like that to himself for the very reason that I think he's seen what happens when you necessarily don't.
Well, no matter what your views are, unless you're so passionate about it that it's part of your act, like sort of Stuart Lee over here and that sort of thing.
Bill Burrs.
Yeah, that he'll lose half of his audience. It's that simple. And with Schneider, he's lost more than half of it because he's been so nasty about it.
Yeah.
He could be a right-wing comedian and I could still find him funny, even though my views are the other, because it's comedy. But he's so angry about it and bitter that sod him. You know what I mean? But anyway, shall I do another film? Which is, I believe, the first time we had Rob Schneider shouting, "You can do it." The Waterboy.
The Waterboy.
1998. Canteen Boy gone full 90 minutes. Now, this movie cost 23 million, which is a bit more than The Wedding Singer. But it made 190.2 million, which is more than The Wedding Singer. I just thought I'd add that. Same writer with Adam Sandler. The cast in this, I think, is great. It's Adam Sandler plays the man-child, the Waterboy, who still works for the high school football team. Not much of a plot, really. But you've got Firuza Balk, who not long before had been in The Craft
Yep.
as the love interest. She's great, scary, and funny. Kathy Bates as the mum, movie stealer. She doesn't do that much comedy really, and so good as the overprotective mum who pretends to be ill. I think that performance is great. Henry Winkler as the coach, hilarious, and the flashbacks to him as a kid with like a little mini afro as a teenager. Sorry, I think. Then I've read Winkler's autobiography, and he's obviously known for the Fonz, and he dyslexic and struggled through his career, and he loves Sandler, and he really thanks him for not saving his career, because I don't know if you know, he'd made a lot of money anyway. He produced, like, was it Knight Rider or something? Yeah. So he had the money, and he'd done the odd bit, but he was in Scream not long before this.
Yeah, Scream.
But he loves working with Adam Sandler. They become friends, and just really enjoys his company and will do anything for him, which I think is a lot of how Sandler gets these actors in his movies, is because they have fun. And I think this is a really fun movie. I suggest that you give it another watch, be drunk first. You've got Captain Insano, The Big Show. Of course, The Big Show is in it. We keep talking about films that The Big Show's in.
I
think I don't understand why you don't find it funny.
I just didn't.
But it's and with this side of his character, now this might be where we differ, because I grew up loving like Jerry Lewis and Norman Wisdom and things like that, and I think Sandler is an updated version of their sort of characters. When you, especially Jerry Lewis, when you look at the he's slightly less annoying than Jerry Lewis, to be honest. But I just like it, and I think he knew when to stop doing that, or stop doing that character as much, because he's getting older now, whereas Jerry Lewis didn't. He done the Halloween one a few years ago. He does the same sort of thing, and I quite like that as well. Was it Hubie Halloween? That was a Netflix one, and that reminds me a lot of Little Nicky. You've got a lot of the other stuff going on, crossovers. I enjoyed that, but I wouldn't put it up with this massive box office success. But I imagine it didn't do that well in this country as well as it did in America. And it's one that I don't go back to a lot, but I always laugh at it when I watch it. Cool soundtrack as well. There's lots of Leonard Skinner, and
the soundtrack is very good.
Yeah. So and a well made comedy as well. You know, but his budget shows. So there we go. I think I've won that argument. Thank you for agreeing with everything I say, Chris.
You know what? I know I'm in the minority. I'm fine to admit that I'm in the minority. I just don't enjoy his performance in that film. As in the Sandler reunion sketch, when you have Keenan, and he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. You've got like invisible flute going on there, invisible clarinets going on there. It's just Sandler in that character. It never, when he went to, because it's actually a mixture of Waterboy and Cajun Man and
Excited Southerner from the records as well.
So it's those three characters kind of mixed together, which is a cake that I would personally not like to have a slice of.
I'll have 2 slices.
But I know I'm in the minority. So,
but then, saying that, I mean, I what was the film he done with Chris Rock where their kids are getting married? Because I actually haven't finished that film yet, and it came out about 5 years ago. I just struggled. It was trying to be like Curb Your Enthusiasm, I thought. And I
know the film
just didn't work.
It was trying to be like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And when it comes to his movies, I mean, it doesn't really count. An early one he done called Going Overboard, which he had nothing to do with the writing or anything. I think is one of the worst films I've ever seen. I don't like That's My Boy. I think the whole topic of it is creepy.
The Week Of.
That's it. I'll have to go back and finish that. But That's My Boy, I think for me is my least favourite of his films.
Although, do you know, saying that, do you know who it was written by? Which is a surprise.
Don't know.
It was written by Robert Smigel.
Okay.
So a rare miss for Robert Smigel.
Yeah. I'll go back to it. I haven't watched it all.
Yeah, no, I
struggled.
Can't remember if I've seen it or not, to be honest.
And the other one that I kind of aren't bothered about going back to is I Plant You, Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
It's a remake of a Paul Hogan film, though, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. It was an Australian film originally. But I wasn't too keen on that. But other than that, I kind of enjoy his stuff. More recent ones that everyone hates Jack and Jill. I don't. I think it's stupid. I don't care. It made me laugh. So, And Pixels, same. I don't play video games. I don't care if it's not accurate. It's the same film as Minecraft, but everyone loves Minecraft.
Yeah.
So, and you've got a giant Pac-Man causing havoc, so I quite like it.
I think it's an odd career because he's like hugely successful.
Yeah.
I think at one point he was the second highest paid actor in Hollywood. One specific year in the 2000s, he was the highest paid actor in Hollywood, I think, for 1 year.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because he churns out a lot.
Yeah.
I think his deal with Netflix probably didn't help him in some ways with people's opinions of him, because people like to moan about something.
But
getting into bed with her. But
I think that was a wise decision, because he had the moderately budget Jack and Jill bomb, then the big budget Pixels bomb, and he was offered a 6 movie deal,
6 movies,
where he's got money for them and an audience.
Yeah.
If people might not, if they were stupid and didn't like Jack and Jill, right? They're not going to pay to go out and see it and another film maybe. But they've got Netflix, they'll hit play.
Yeah.
So I think that's a wise decision, and proven with Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a while. Should we just quickly talk about love for Happy Gilmore and Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. What can you say about Happy Gilmore? I think it's one of the most, I guess, original comedies. It's a sports comedy, which I'm not a fan of, but it's not really, but it's a stellar cast. Every single person is it.
Shooter McGavin and Matthew McDonald. He's kind of been typecast in the role since, because he'd done Dirty Work and Flubber after.
Yeah.
But a great actor anyway. Not long after, he was in Thelma and Louise as a really dark sort of character. Sandler is great in it. It's the first time we really see angry Sandler, but he's still got that heart. It's like he's got that short temper, then very apologetic, so that's why he's likable. Alan Coover, is it? Is the caddy? He works with him a lot.
Yeah.
Just it's up there in a lot of people's top 10 comedies ever, and I can see why. Probably my favourite sports comedy. I have to say, I'm not saying it's a better film, but I laugh at it more than Caddyshack.
I think but Caddyshack is very much of its age, which I don't think this is, as proven by the sequel.
Yeah, and in this, the title character, it's all about the one guy, whereas there's an ensemble cast in Caddyshack. It's more like watching a sketch show.
Yeah,
and I think it's iconic. I've got the cinema poster in my bedroom. You're not going in there, but it's in there.
He keeps trying not to go in his bedroom. One day.
If you clear it up, you can. I think it's great, and we waited for nearly 30 years for a sequel, and I was pleased with the sequel personally. What did you think?
I've not seen it yet.
Oh,
I've purely not seen it because I've been banned from watching it until I can watch it with my partner and her daughter, and so we've not had a 2-hour space where we've been able to sit down to watch it.
You got a gig tonight, haven't you?
Yes.
Cancel it. That's cool, because what we could do then, we could hold this part of the conversation, and on next time's show we can just ask your thoughts on it. We can talk about it there, because
we'll pick it up on the next show.
We tried to do an hour, and we were about hour 10 at the minute. So if we rally in now.
Yeah, I do want to mention one quick thing before we do that.
Airheads.
No, it's not Airheads. If anybody can, it's on YouTube. I think it is incredible. Not anything we've talked about, but there is a show called A Night of a Thousand. Night of a Thousand Stars. It was the mock of that. It was A Night of a Thousand something. Anyway, it was a charity gig put on, and it ends with a big song. And you've got Lou Reed doing Walk on the Wild Side with people like Jack Black and Conan O'Brien, and Sandler's in it, and you've got Dana Carvey on drums, and there's this big band, and the whole joke is that they're all messing around, and Lou Reed is not very happy at the fact that he's not got a proper band to play with. He's got these comedians. But Sandler, they all take turns singing a verse. Sandler does not sing his verse. He stops playing his guitar, takes the mic off the mic stand, gets into Lou Reed, the musical god that was Lou Reed, in his face, and just goes, I want to hire, I want to hire, whore, and just makes that noise for his entire...
Yeah, brilliant.
And watch it. Find it. Just look for it and watch it, because it is absolutely hilarious, and Lou Reed what looks like he's going to punch Adam Sandler in the face, and you get the feeling that he wasn't expecting that to happen. So one last thing,
and also I'll have two last things very quickly. Watch Mixed Nuts, him and Steve Martin, Nora Ephron film, really good. Not talked about enough. And we mentioned his political views. No one knows, but if you believe the thing he done at the Oscars and what that's all about, maybe his views are different to Rob Schneider. Do you know the reference there? Yeah, yes. So we will see. But thank you all for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram. We will do stuff for the pages at some point. I haven't yet. And you can listen on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts.
That is it.
Like, follow, subscribe. Please comment, talk to us about this.
Yeah? Yes, I'm willing to have a fight with people about this. No, I'm not.
This will be the last show.
This will be the last show
because we have fallen out.
Yes, I'll be replaced by somebody else on the next one. Somebody who likes.
You're in charge,
Little Nicky.
I can't find anyone else who likes Little Nicky. So it's been me on my own. It'd be like the Denise show.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye now.